if Mary was sinful, is it possible that like it could have like messed with Jesus?
No, Mary being a sinner has no bearing on the nature of Christ. He is God. That's why he was and is without sin.
Yeah, well, that's part of the theology of the Immaculate Conception. Not only was he going to conceive himself in Mary, but he was going to get his human DNA from her, his human blood. You think of him being formed in the womb and like they're sharing cells, you know?
Sin has nothing to do with your cellular makeup. It has nothing to do with DNA. Sin is not a biological product. The body can be used as a tool by which we commit sin, but sin is a product of the will, transgressing the law by our own willful choices. Every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. And when lust has conceived, it brings forth sin. Jesus never lusted because he is God.
The cells of a baby live inside the cells of a mother for decades after the baby is born, and the cells of the mother live inside the baby. If the mother has an illness, the baby's cells will travel to the spot of that illness and try to help fight it.
Really?
Yes, even if the baby has been aborted.
That is an incredible design feature by our Creator. It's an amazing. We are wonderfully and fearfully made. But again, that has no bearing on sin and the will to choose to sin. So, not sure what you're getting at here.
Same for Jesus and Mary. Their cells were mixed. If he got his human body from Mary, then Mary's body, his human side, her human side would have had to have been sinless, and that means her soul would have had to have been sinless, because as St. Thomas Aquinas says, the best way to think about it is that not that you have a body and your soul somewhere in there, but that your soul contains your body.
Yeah.
Right, and Mary's soul was not transferred to Jesus, and somehow Jesus partook in Mary's soul. Every soul is an individual, uniquely created by God. So Jesus did not inherit Mary's soul. So while Jesus shared the DNA of Mary, he did not partake in her soul. He was not made after the image of Mary, right? And that's the problem with this thinking here, is that, well, Mary had to be immaculately conceived. She had to be sinless in order for her to not affect Jesus. Well, then the question is, how far back does that go then? Did her mother need to be immaculately conceived? And did her mother need to be? And her mother? And you say, well, no, it just had to be Mary. So God miraculously allowed Mary to be miraculously conceived and all of that. Well, what's to stop God from miraculously making Jesus immaculate? He didn't have to make Jesus immaculate because Jesus, by nature, is without sin. And so there's no need for Mary to be immaculately conceived. This is a dogma that has led to the elevation of Mary to a position that God never intended her to be as the mother of Jesus.
Weird, almost like your body comes from your soul.
Right.
Well, if your body comes from your soul, and Jesus' body came from Mary, then Mary's soul was sinless too.
No, your body does not come from your soul. Go back to Genesis 1 and 2. God formed man out of the dust of the earth. So a body was formed, and then he breathed into man the breath of life, and man became a living what? Soul. And so the soul was breathed into the body. Okay, so the moment of conception, before there's even a body formed, your soul exists. Your body doesn't produce your soul. It's just kind of a weird twisting of the reality here. But anyways, beside the point, maybe. No, it is the point, but no, Jesus' body is not a product of Mary's soul.